Hey, welcome to the Christian Media Marketing Show. My name is John. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I may be in your ears, maybe you're watching this show. I don't know where you are consuming this content, but I hope it's going to be a blessing to you. I'm confident it is. We've been in the process of introducing you all to several of our new Kavanah Media people, and we're thankful for them. We want to share about them with you all, but I think there's some value. So even if you watch this and you're like, well, we don't use Kavanaugh, or we're not one of Kavanaugh's clients. That's okay because there's continual content that these men and women are learning, doing, sharing that is driving what I get the opportunity and the privilege of sharing with you. And today is going to be one of those. In fact, today you're going to hear from someone who's going to talk about a scripture app program that they use where they're consistently every week finding seekers through this Bible app that he helped create. You're going to hear about just an open heart and open hand mindset that he has to share. And the person I'm excited to introduce to you today is Cody. And Cody, I'm not going to give you last names or whatever and where he's worked, but he has been a fellow worker, partner, friend of mine and of Kavanaugh for many years now. And you're going to hear a little bit of that backstory as well. And for different reasons, they are in a point of transition and of growth, of opportunity to serve. And so I'm really excited to be able to introduce Cody to you. He is going to be serving one of the mission orgs that we love and working with Kavanaugh at the same time. So we're thankful for that organization. We're thankful for Cody, for his wife and his kids and family, and just the opportunity to serve our King together with them for with you, I'm hoping, for the benefit of our Savior Jesus Christ. And so don't want to wait any longer. Let me introduce to you all Cody, who is one of our newest members of Kavanah Media. All right, we have my friend and now co-worker Cody joining me. Thanks for being a part of the show.
Good to be here, John.
Yeah. And I'm just loving seeing your smile. I know tons of stuff going on in your life and challenges and good things and everything else. But I tell you, one of the things I love about you, man, is you can laugh and you have a sense of humor and you're able to face these hard things and still laugh, man. So anyway, I love getting to see you smile.
Thanks.
And
It's
I'm
good. Helped me a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes you're either going to cry or you're going to laugh. So let's laugh instead. So,
Yeah, fair.
yeah. Hey, I am really grateful that you're on the show. I'm more importantly, I'm grateful that I get to work with you. You are one of these people, just saying that our whole Kavanaugh team would say, boy, if we ever get to do more with this person, then we would love to be able to do that. And so I'm just glad to introduce you. We've been going through now here through the show these last few weeks, introducing some of the new Kavanaugh people that are there. Even for teams and orgs and churches and whoever, if they don't use us, I think that I want them to know who these people are so that I hope that's an inspiration. And I hope that people are praying for people like you and others to do this. So thanks for being on the show. And we're going to just jump in and I'm excited to introduce people to you a little bit. And let's just start with like, where are you from? Like some of these questions, I don't know the answers either. So here, I can't wait to find out some of this. Where are you from originally? Where would you call home?
Yeah, I grew up in California.
No, are you
I,
serious?
yeah, I was born in Sacramento, California. My family's from a town called Paradise, which is actually there was a fire there 5 years ago. The whole town burned down.
Yeah.
My extended family's still there. They're fine. They made it. FEMA and insurance have taken good care of them. But that's originally where I'm from. And I went to university out there, Christian university called William Jessup. I studied, I got my bachelor's in pastoral ministry. And I took an elective course on, in this going around the world and sharing the gospel kind of subject. And turns out it was a gentleman named Glenn Gibson who used to work with Team
Yep.
Expansion. He was the department head, and they handed out summer internships called Pathways, and that's how I got connected to Team Expansion and moved all the way from California over to Indiana because I met my wife on that internship, and she's from
Wow.
Indiana. So I'm from far away.
No, I love it. Dude, I know that place too. That is so cool. Well, our paths started, I'm trying to think about, was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Oh yeah, you were part of the training
Where,
when on. Yeah,
yes, you were one
six,
of the
7 years
first
ago.
teams when Kavanah was like me, and that was it.
Yeah,
And one of the first teams that I got to work with and help train. You're also, I think, your team, and we're just not going to say the country for the sake of this podcast or whatever of where
sure.
you were at, and because you still are and helping with things. But I think that was the fastest launch of any team I've ever worked with.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly, we started from nothing to ads are live in 4 days.
yeah, yeah. We
Um,
maxed out the Wi-Fi at my coworker's house. There were so many of us on
yes.
live.
Yeah, that was cool. That's a good memory, great trip. And then you just have continued to just nail it. You experiment, you have done Bible app type stuff where people can reach out. You have done TikTok, you have done all sorts of stuff. I mean, I think that was 2 weeks, but
Yeah,
you did it
before and me. Yeah,
before they shut you down. That's right. So, and then you came on board working with really you were our first champion for DJI for our Discover Jesus initiative in a very large country that really needs to know Jesus. You helped spearhead that to the point now where almost I think almost every city in that nation, at least
yep.
of decent size,
About 80%. Our next
80%.
our next ad will go to 80% of the country. Yeah.
And that's not like we're just running ads. There's follow-up networks there,
Yep.
like
Yep.
people to go from online to offline to be able to do that. And that's because of you. And so when uh when the opportunity to work even more closely with you came up, man, I know exactly where I was. I know where I heard it. I know, I reached out to you right away. I was at a conference, a missions conference, and I'm really grateful. You're going to be doing two roles, and so maybe we can talk a little bit about that. For one, the mission org that you are a part of, which is Team Expansion,
Yep.
you're going to be, in essence, their digital strategist then, right?
Yep. Yep. I'm going to be taking all new teams that want to do what what you've helped us launch in the country we're working in. They want to start one, launch one, and help manage. I'll help them do all of that.
Right.
Yep.
All right, so you're going to be the digital strategist there, and then you're joining our Kavanah Media team, so which in some ways is really cool that we get to partner closely with mission orgs. We have that same kind of relationship with some other organizations, which I think has worked out really well. Their digital strategists are part of those orgs only. You get to be a part of Kavanah as well on that, and so maybe tell people what your role is going to look like, what you're envisioning here with Kavanah as well. What is it going to look like?
Yeah. So, yeah, my the org's been really generous. I'm not restricted to just our org teams, and so that means I get to join with you guys and helping coach all of the teams that you guys are helping serve around the world. I'm super excited for what this role means because it means we get to keep running the project in the country that we're serving with our local partners there. I get to stay alongside them, even though I'm not in that country anymore.
Yeah.
I get to help team expansion the org as a whole help launch these digital engagement initiatives, and then I get to come alongside you with all the clients that you guys have. I basically get to, I don't know, I get the best of both worlds. I get to I get to take all these cool networking opportunities and all the systems and stuff that you have developed with Kavanah, and I get to use them anywhere that I need to, and it's super exciting.
Well, I mean, we're excited about that, and that's what we want as well. I mean, I'm just thinking back to that training we did in that living room there, and the joke of how I kept forgetting to invoice people and whatever else on that.
Yeah.
Partly it's always been this thing where it's like I don't really care about the finances. I just want to trust God. I just want to have enough to keep serving. I and every organization that's out there, every team if we possibly can. And that doesn't mean we have all the answers. I think bringing in people like you and others that are joining the team expand the resources that we have and what we know. Um, but we want to turn right around and give those away, just like what we're doing with the ad resource website with
Yeah.
probably 2 or 3 years worth of ads that are on there, but just new things that are coming in that I think you're going to add tremendous value. What would you say would be some of those things that you in this last year have learned? Maybe some things that you tried that failed even, but what's been some stuff when it comes to, I mean, I know there's tons of names. We've just landed on digital engagement, but whatever you call it,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Media to movement, digital CPM, DDMN, whatever kind of, I mean, whatever,
Yeah.
one to many, DJI, whatever. What are some things you've tried? What are some things you've been surprised at? Just what's been some insights from your experience in this last year?
In this last year, I've definitely learned, actually, thanks to you guys and the Discover Jesus initiative, trying to lead with generosity, the kingdom economy mindset. You guys, as you mentioned, I helped launch the one in the country we're working with. I helped manage that. And you were so open-handed with the systems that you built with that. And because of that, you mentioned the follow-up network that we've been able to build. We only have that follow-up network because we asked for help with open hands with the systems we had. And so we were able to go to an existing network of multipliers that works with some existing churches in that country who were tracking their contacts from their own website in Excel. It was
Hmm.
like a person team, hundreds of, if not thousands of contacts in Excel.
Wow.
Uh, we had a couple contacts that came through in just in towns and villages that we didn't have any people that could follow up. And we asked them if they could, and they said yes. And when we gave them access to our Disciple Tools instance, they fell in love with it. And so
That's
we were
awesome.
able to just let them use it. And now we have this partnership because we led with open hands
Hmm.
that covers 80% of the country. It's fantastic. And
Yeah.
so that's been a big lesson for me is leading with open hands. And then I had an opportunity to go to One Kingdom's Summit in Hungary, and I got to meet with all kinds of content developer, TWR Motion and stuff like that. And just
Hmm.
the same thing. They had, everybody wants to help, but everybody also has their own problems. And so leading with open hands and using the systems that we have, that you have with Kavanah to help them only helps everyone collaborate more. And it's seeing how far that has taken both the work in the country that we're working and just on the backside with like the ad store and getting new pieces of content. Everybody loves that, and it just builds great partnerships that working by myself in the field that we were working at as my team transitioned away, I didn't have to network like that a whole lot, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that's been a huge positive lesson for me. And the other one was just trial and error. Like you mentioned the last year, but even beyond that, like TikTok, we had amazing numbers and it was worth a try, but they found out it was Christian and when they banned the ad account. The other one was
Hmm.
a local partner who I baptized about 5 years ago, who is honestly, you gave me credit for most of the networking. It's honestly him. I won't mention his name, but
Yeah. Yeah.
this would not be where, this would not be
Yeah.
happening without him. Where originally we were driving traffic to YouVersion, but at the time, it's changed now, but at the time, there was a lot of English still in the local people's interaction with the app when they installed it, when they changed the language. It was intimidating people. And
Yeah.
so it was a huge learning curve, but we were able to find the scripture app builder from SIL and launch a Bible app in our local language that only has our local language. I didn't know what it would be like. I had to open an LLC online on a website that I thought was fraudulent in New Mexico, and
Yeah.
it all worked out. And now we've had over 40,000 installs,
Wow.
and weekly we're averaging 15 to 20 people messaging, WhatsApping us from that app. That's completely separate from the Discover Jesus initiative ads and the ads we have in our own project that you helped us launch. So, I mean, just trial and error, experimentation, and
Yeah.
leading with open hands have been huge lessons that I've.
That's good. That's so good. And listen, the open hands sure didn't start with me on this. So when you look at the team behind that makes Disciple Tools and their open-handedness, and I mean, you know them, your org knows them. There's a, a tremendous
Yeah.
heart for the kingdom that's there of giving
Yeah.
it away. You take the team at One Kingdom that's working throughout Europe and the things that they're trying to do, and they're not throwing price tags on things or doing whatever, and
Yeah.
they're very, very generous trying to give things away. And there's others that are out there that are providing training and coaching and whatever else on. That's the only way we're going to be able to get these things done.
Yeah.
It gets
That's
muddy when you get overlap.
yeah.
It gets it gets challenging when we begin to see that there's gaps that nobody is leaning into as well.
Yeah.
That I think is going to be a challenge to some of these things, but they're not insurmountable challenges.
No,
Um,
not at all.
and I think the thing that motivates me is your local partner, who I would love to bring on. I don't want to burn his who he is on doing that, but he's such a good.
He's super bold. He would do it, but I'm not sure.
I know he would, and it'd be fun to have him practice his English. But this is one of those things where um, we do a podcast and people see a name or they see a face and they don't
Yeah.
see the real heroes behind the work that gets done.
Yeah.
And there's people that raise money off of other people's work. There's people that take credit for things that they haven't ever done. But the Lord knows people like this local partner of yours.
Amen. Yeah.
Um, and he knows it, and they are those heroes that are out there. And you've played a part in discipling him and doing it. We were sitting in that hotel room, middle of the night. Literally, it's
Yep.
middle of the night,
Yep.
creating these next step journeys. Another group, Jesus Films, so
Yep.
generous, making these things open-handed, giving it out. Because he knew what these prayer requests were going to be, and we're already creating these
Yep.
journeys to
He
answer the
had he had
requests.
his notebook and his notes from messages that he'd been responding to, and he knew the themes, and
Uh,
he's
and we
brilliant.
continue to use that. So that
Yeah.
literally has shaped what we do at Kavanah is because of that local believer who you brought to faith and baptized 5 years ago. Um, yeah, it's just so
He's a
cool.
great
Yes, he
guy.
is. But it's just cool to see how all these different things play together, different parts and roles and all these things at times just, the Lord's at work. And so I know that you've gone through some challenges and had to move. And unfortunately, you're not the only one that we know of from that region in the
Not
last
at
just
all.
few months. So things are getting
Yep.
harder. There's just a lot of challenges that are there, but you can still laugh and you're still smiling and you're still innovating and pressing forward. And I'm just thankful to have you be a part of our Kavanah Media team and to be able to help support your team expansion teams. I hope God blesses you all with so many new teams coming on board who want to use digital engagement. That's
Amen.
that's my hope is
Right.
that he'll be able to do that. Um, so Cody, you're going to be working with a lot of different teams and being able to do that, and people are going to see your name and a lot more. Um, just in these months that are coming ahead, is there
Yeah.
anything specific that you are excited about, or you're excited even to just share or bring in to the work?
Honestly, it's super encouraging to me to think that the things that I've tried and failed at and learned from and launched and had success with, that I can take all the experiences that I've had and help others launch similar digital engagement initiatives in their regions, or help them get connected to Discover Jesus initiatives if they have them, or anything like Next Steps Journeys, a Bible app, anything that I have
Yeah,
a moniker of experience in. If I can use any of that to bless any teams and help them see success and fruit the same way, it just gets me super excited. I can't wait to see what God is doing, and the people listening to this podcast now, what God is doing in their fields, and what he hopes to do, and what digital engagement can mean in their context.
right.
Uh, it's just super exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a unbelievable time that we get to serve and do this. And so yeah, you're gonna be coaching teams, you're gonna be onboarding new teams through team expansion. You're going to
Yep.
be working with Stuart on DJI type stuff. You're going to be taking the lead in the one location specifically, at least there. You've got Bible app experience, you've done Google ads, you've done all sorts of stuff. Like you've been there. Like this is not new to you, and you've got the scars to prove it. And that's the kind of people we love getting to be a part of this team. And you're a fun guy to be around. And our
Right.
team loves that. So, we want to work super hard, but we also have a lot of fun just laughing and joking. And so, yeah, you're going to be kind of touching so many different parts and people within Kavanah, and we hope with the kingdom as well. So, welcome to the team. And we're excited to introduce you to, whoever sees this video or this podcast. And I'm excited just to put my hand to the plow with you and see how God blesses that. So, thanks for being a part of the show. And thanks, more importantly, for what you do for the kingdom.
Thank you, John. Good to be
Uh,
here. Thanks for what you've done and all we've been doing in our field. So we wouldn't have what you have. Well, we wouldn't have what we have now if it wasn't for Kavanah. So thanks
well,
again.
I appreciate it. And it's been our honor to serve you and hopefully to serve a lot of others through you as well. So, thanks so much, Cody.
Thanks, Tim. Yep.
All right, there you go. That is Cody, one of our newest members to the Kavanah Media team. It is just a joy to talk with him, to introduce him to you all. And I hope that he can be one of the people that serves you. That is our desire, is to serve mission teams, to free them up, to not have to do learning the business setup, the verification, or the technical stuff, or whatever it might be, the marketing, pixels, anything that's world's constantly changing on that part so that you can do what you went to the field to do, which is to tell people about Jesus, to evangelize, disciple, to see churches planted, to see disciples making disciples. That's our hope. And so if we could ever help you, we would be honored. But even if not, even if you have what you're doing and you're learning these things and you're implementing, I want you to know we want to benefit you. Everyone on our team, that's our desire. That's our heart. So we're going to have brand new training, brand new topics that are coming up starting next week. And I hope that you will benefit from them. I hope that you will share this show, this podcast or YouTube show with other people and leave us a review, any of those kind of things. We are just honored to be a part of what God is doing when it comes to digital engagement. So may He bless your efforts to make His Son known. Keep pressing forward. And if we can ever help you or pray for you in any way, please let us know. Please reach out. Until next time, take care and God bless.